Ever wondered how to tame the voice in your head and reduce stress without losing your edge? Dan Harris, a news anchor, was once like you. He lived a fast-paced life, juggling the pressures of his professional role with the demands of his personal world. But everything changed when Harris had a panic attack on live television, a wake-up call that led him to question his lifestyle and seek solutions. He found himself drawn to a concept he had previously dismissed: meditation. Despite his initial skepticism, Harris began to explore this ancient practice, delving into its potential to enhance mental clarity, reduce stress, and promote overall well-being. He discovered mindfulness, a form of meditation that emphasizes staying present and fully engaged with the current moment. This unexpected journey marked the beginning of a transformation. Harris was stepping into a world of mindfulness and meditation, a journey that promised not just greater peace and balance, but also the possibility of becoming 10% happier. This was the beginning of Harris's journey into mindfulness meditation. Harris was intrigued by mindfulness and meditation, but he had many questions. As he started his journey, he encountered different meditation techniques, each with its own unique approach. Some asked him to focus on his breath, others on a mantra, yet others on the sensations in his body. He learned that at the core of all these techniques was the idea of mindfulness, being fully present in the moment, not lost in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. To deepen his understanding, Harris sought out teachers. Figures like Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra became his guides, introducing him to new perspectives on mindfulness and meditation. They taught him that these practices were not about emptying the mind, but rather about observing thoughts and emotions without judgment. Through these experiences, Harris gradually demystified meditation. He discovered it wasn't esoteric or mystical, but a practical tool for cultivating awareness and calmness. Slowly, Harris started to understand and appreciate the power of mindfulness. One of the biggest challenges Harris faced was the constant chatter in his head. This incessant inner voice, a manifestation of the ego, was a major contributor to his stress and anxiety. It was a voice of self-doubt, judgment, and relentless pursuit of success. But as Harris delved deeper into the practice of meditation, he started noticing a shift. Meditation allowed him to step back and observe this inner dialogue, rather than being swept away by it. He began to understand that his thoughts and feelings were transient, not the absolute truth. This was a liberating realization. He was no longer hostage to every fleeting thought or emotion. By simply observing and not reacting, he started to detach from the constant narrative in his head. He found a sense of calm amidst the chaos. His stress levels dropped, and his anxiety began to fade. This was the power of mindfulness at work. Meditation was beginning to change Harris's relationship with his thoughts and feelings. Harris wanted evidence. He delved into the scientific research on meditation. What he found was a wealth of studies, pointing to the profound impact of mindfulness on our mental health. Researchers from all over the globe had turned their attention to this ancient practice, and their findings were compelling. Harvard Medical School, for instance, discovered that meditation could physically alter the brain. Regular practice was found to increase the density of the hippocampus, a region linked to learning and memory. Meanwhile, a research paper from Johns Hopkins University highlighted meditation's role in stress reduction. Their meta-analysis of nearly 20,000 studies found that mindfulness meditation could significantly reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. Studies from the University of Massachusetts further suggested that meditation could improve overall well-being, enhancing emotional regulation and fostering a more positive outlook on life. The science was clear. Meditation had real, measurable benefits. Harris realized that mindfulness wasn't just about sitting on a cushion, it was about living consciously. He found that mindfulness could be woven into the fabric of daily life, from the moment he woke up in the morning to the moment he closed his eyes at night. It was not about escaping from reality, but about engaging with it more fully, more consciously. To Harris, mindfulness was a way of life, a tool to navigate the ups and downs with a little more grace and a little less stress. He found that by bringing a mindful awareness into everyday tasks, he could transform mundane moments into moments of calm and clarity. Even washing the dishes or waiting in line could become opportunities for mindfulness. Integrating mindfulness into everyday life was not without its challenges, of course. Harris found it easy to forget to be mindful, to get swept up in the whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. But he also found that with practice, mindfulness became more and more natural. It became less of a chore and more of a refuge. To help make mindfulness a habit, Harris came up with some practical tips. One tip was to set aside a specific time each day for meditation. This could be first thing in the morning, during lunch breaks, or before bed. Another tip was to start small. Even just a few minutes of mindfulness a day could make a difference. And if you missed a day, that was okay. The important thing was to keep coming back, to keep trying. Harris also suggested finding a meditation technique that worked for you. There were many different techniques out there, from breath awareness to body scans to loving kindness meditations. Experiment and find what resonates with you. In the end, Harris found that mindfulness was not about achieving some kind of perfect peace or bliss. It was about becoming a little bit happier, a little bit calmer, a little bit kinder. Being 10% happier wasn't a lofty ideal. It was a realistic and achievable goal. So, what can we take away from Harris's journey? A lot, it turns out. Harris's story is a testament to the power of mindfulness and meditation. He shows us that these tools aren't just for the spiritually inclined, but can help anyone, even the most skeptical among us, to manage stress and find greater balance in our lives. His journey introduces us to the concept of the incessant inner voice, the ego that can often lead us to anxiety. We learn that meditation can help us gain awareness of this inner dialogue and provide tools to manage it more effectively. We also delve into the science of meditation, acknowledging the wealth of research that supports its positive impact on mental health and overall well-being. Harris's practical advice for integrating mindfulness into our daily routines is a valuable takeaway. It's not about achieving perfection, but about making incremental progress towards a more mindful existence. Remember, meditation isn't about achieving perfection. It's about becoming just 10% happier.